Let's now shift focus to Sweden, which has the world's attention. Sweden chose to stay open while half of the world had been locked down due to coronavirus. And the government chose social distancing instead of quarantine methods, instead of taking onus on themselves. And the government chose to rely upon citizens to flatten the curve for COVID-19. Our next report will give you a reality check and answer the question whether the Swedish way is a model to follow or to avoid.
By mid-March, nearly every country in Europe had closed schools and businesses. Travel was restricted, citizens were asked to stay at home. But one country stood out for its decision to stay open: Sweden. There is no lockdown here, from bars with crammed outdoor seating to long queues for waterfront ice cream kiosks. And yet, it is a myth that life here goes on as normal. On the face of it, little has shut down. Sweden's strategy to slow the spread of the virus was social distancing. Majority of the people took to it voluntarily. Sweden's moderate response to the pandemic drew praise from various American politicians who saw Sweden as a possible model for the United States as it tries to reopen completely. The question that remains is, did Sweden's approach work, and is it worth emulating? The public certainly thinks so. While Sweden has avoided a large outbreak, it is now seeing a large increase in the number of deaths. Sweden witnessed a deadly week in mid-May. 30% more people died of COVID-19 than is normal during this time of the year. COVID-19 deaths have also disproportionately hit the elderly. It reported the highest number of deaths in Europe per capita from COVID over the last 7 days. But the hospitals have still not been overwhelmed. However, even without a full lockdown, Sweden's economy has not been unscathed. Sweden is bracing for a recession. The Swedish central bank has projected that the country's GDP will contract by 7 to 10% this year, but the devastation in several other European Union countries due to COVID-19 is bound to have its effect on all member nations. History will judge which countries managed the pandemic right. While it may seem that Sweden, by making timely decisions, did save many lives and livelihoods, one will have to wait and see if it all works out for the Swedes in the end. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.